The fight is done. We lost.
Well, we finally got our first real trailer for the Kenobi series, and I'm getting so excited for this May. But in this video, I thought we'd take a look at that trailer and see if there's any potential future LEGO sets hiding in plain sight. And as always, if you end up liking this video, hitting that thumbs up and giving a subscribe if you so desire really does help a small channel like this grow. Oh, and I should say up front, Lucasfilm does have a recent trend of not giving away too many big moments in their trailers, especially some of the moments that might make for great LEGO sets. Some recent examples include Boba Fett's throne room, which was a post-credit scene, and the LEGO set is out now. Then there's Din Djarin's N1 Starfighter being a surprise reveal by Pelimoto in The Book of Boba Fett, which subsequently became a LEGO set and is releasing on June 1st. Then there's still the rumored Boba Fett's Rancor versus the Scorpion Annihilator droid set that may be coming this fall. Obviously, that's still just a rumor at this point. But anyways, let's jump back into the trailer. So the trailer opens with some shots of Tatooine. We see Obi-Wan riding and leading around his Eopie mount, with him saying,
The fight is done. We lost.
Which is a very melancholic way to open this trailer. And I'm betting it's their way of trying to tell us what Obi-Wan's mindset is right now. That he's dejected, kind of downtrodden, and his only purpose at all is watching over Luke. And speaking of Luke, the trailer wasted no time at all showing us 10-year-old Luke Skywalker. He appears to be wearing some goggles, maybe pod racing goggles, where I presume he's fantasizing about bullseyeing womp rats in a T-16 Skyhopper. For our first possible LEGO set. There's always the chance LEGO could make a set based around the Lars homestead in this time period with a young Luke Skywalker. Owen Lars, played by Joel Edgerton again, does appear to play at least a minor role, as we see him pop up several times later in the trailer. So it's always possible, especially because it would be a way for LEGO to have that tie-in back to the original trilogy, and God knows they love making original trilogy anything and everything. Personally, though, I'd rather them do something else. But moving on, next we get the Duel of the Fates music playing.
The key to hunting Jedi is patience.
Whew, the music's giving me chills. The music in this trailer in general was just top shelf. We then hear the Grand Inquisitor, played by Rupert Friend, doing a voiceover about hunting Jedi, and we see this Black Inquisitor shuttle flying up to what I believe is the Fortress Inquisitorius, which is the stronghold and headquarters of the Imperial Inquisitor program and is located on the water moon Nur, which is actually in the Mustafar system, which, as a reminder, Mustafar the planet holds a lot of significance for Obi-Wan, as that's where he dueled Anakin Skywalker, who had become Darth Vader at that point. And then years later, Vader returned and built Fortress Vader on Mustafar. But of course, made sure this time to build it on the high ground. Smart move. So as far as LEGO sets here and possible LEGO set number 2, there's a couple of precedents already established by LEGO that might influence what we could get. Obviously, Darth Vader's castle, or Fortress Vader, exists as a set. And actually, it's been going in and out of stock on Amazon lately. And LEGO's website doesn't say it's officially retired, just out of stock. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did another run on this set to coincide with the Kenobi series. But given that set exists, it's possible they could do a LEGO set for the Fortress Inquisitorius, We obviously see multiple Inquisitors in this trailer, including the Grand Inquisitor himself and the Fifth Brother, both of whom we already have Lego figures of from the Star Wars Rebels sets. And they could be easily reused again for any potential Kenobi sets. They show a brief scene of Inquisitors gathered, presumably within the submerged level of the fortress, with some new Inquisitors, including Reva, played by Moses Ingram. It's unclear who this other Inquisitor is here, but we see them in a couple other scenes. And then sitting across from Reva in perhaps a supervisory role is the Fifth Brother. Now, if they did a Fortress Inquisitorius build, it would likely highlight some specific internal build as well, and scene or sequence. Now, would it be this scene? I think that's doubtful. But I think this scene is to show us maybe the pecking order of the Inquisitors and Reva's place within that group. But the fortress is such a unique building with a pretty cool aesthetic, very similar to how unique Darth Vader's castle is, that I'd be totally down for this as a set. Then possible Lego set number 3. But if I had to bet on one Lego set to get made from this trailer, I think it would be this Black Inquisitor shuttle that we see flying to the fortress. I'm not sure what this ship is. It almost looks like an early variant of Kylo Ren's ship, but much punier and sadder little folding wings. We've seen this ship before in the concept art that they released for the Kenobi series back on Disney Plus Day last year. So it appears very likely that this ship will play a large role for our antagonists, the Inquisitors. I'm guessing this is going to be Reva's ship that she travels from planet to planet in. So I could easily see them turning this into a Lego set, much the way they did for Mando's N1 Starfighter. For minifigs, I guess at a minimum it would include Reva, a Stormtrooper or two, and maybe one of the Inquisitors, either the Grand Inquisitor or the Fifth Brother, as again, they already have designs and molds for both of those figures, or perhaps even this new Inquisitor. Given the shuttle's size, as to me it appears a little bulkier than the normal Lambda shuttle, I could see this being in the $100 to $120 price range, very analogous to the Bad Batch shuttle, which with 5 to 6 figures at that price point, that would feel about right. I really hope LEGO uses this series as an opportunity to give us more LEGO Inquisitors in particular, especially since we didn't get any sets for Jedi Fallen Order. Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little bitter about it. Then the second half of the trailer is much faster paced, jumping from scene to scene to scene. We do see the new planet Daiyu that the Kenobi series writer said was essentially inspired by Hong Kong and has an edgy nightlife feel to the planet. Hence all this neon signage that we see, which I'm all about new and interesting planets and locales for Star Wars. We obviously see lots of scenes and action moments on this planet. I don't think we get anything specific enough that we can say, yes, that would make a great Lego set. But it will definitely be something I'll be watching for in future trailers and then when we actually get the episodes. We also see this super quick scene of a new droid along with a stormtrooper with heavily beat up armor. The subsequent scene shows what appears to be that same stormtrooper again with perhaps a bluish tinted belt holding some kind of hammer. I think it's the same stormtrooper as again we see how beat up his armor appears, which to me implies that this is not your regular run-of-the-mill stormtrooper whose armor is being well maintained and replaced by the Empire. So is this an earlier version of Rex who Tamura Morrison has said he'd love to play, or maybe someone else? It also looks like this scene may be happening on Tatooine, given what looks like sand outside. Is this perhaps the person the Inquisitors came searching for on Tatooine? Either way, I'm hoping to get this droid as a minifig at minimum, because it looks awesome. Then the trailer ends with us hearing Darth Vader's breathing, which, unsurprisingly, he doesn't make an actual appearance in this trailer. The focus was much more on the Inquisitors, but with the theme music of Duel of the Fates, the Inquisitors playing a pretty large antagonistic role, and Vader coming back, I'm calling it now, we're going to get some kind of Lego duel set for this series. Akin to the Duel on Mustafar set, or the Duel on Naboo set. LEGO has made a ton of these duel sets, and I could totally see them doing that again for this series, just given the tone that we see in this trailer. But what did you guys think of the trailer? It got me pretty hyped for May, and I can't wait to see what LEGO sets ultimately end up coming from this series. It feels highly likely, at least to me, that we're going to eventually get that Inquisitor shuttle as a LEGO set. But are there any other sets that you think are likely? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like LEGO set prediction videos, consider checking out either of these videos. But thanks again for watching my video. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time.